Hello, and welcome to Inside the Mind of, a podcast where typically I dive deeper into the minds of some of my favorite people and people who inspire me in the wrestling community. However, this is a different episode. As you can see, if you're watching the video version, I have from the Smackin It Raw podcast, the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub, I have Mr. Matt Ritter here with me. Because this is my interview. And
this is your interview.
This is my interview. And Matt, do you want to kind of explain what this is going to be?
Yeah, so basically after listening to all the Inside the Minds of, everyone's like, well, when are we going to get one on Katie? When are we going to get balls deep in Katie's mind? How are we going to make this happen? And we all kind of talked about it, and there was a vote. I will say I advocated for either Jizzy or Justin to do this interview.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be far more entertaining than me doing it, but you got stuck with me, so here we are. And basically what we came up with is I got questions from our group of IWC friends and people that have been on this show, 2 questions each. And I'm going to kind of do what Katie does and just kind of chat her up and slide some questions in there, here and there. After she answers the question, she's going to try and guess which of our friends asked the question. If she gets it wrong, she's got to take a shot. If she gets it right, she's good to go. So you may be seeing very drunk Katie spilling her guts all over this podcast, which I'm sure we're all here for. So the drunker we get, the more fun this should get.
Yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be the first time I've done a podcast drunk, and it won't be the last. I literally was drunk, like, the last podcast I did, so we're doing great.
And that's what we're here is. The reason that you created this is to talk about podcasters about podcasting, right?
Yeah.
And you've been podcasting now for a little over a year?
Yeah, a year in August. So
one of the questions is something that you've asked everyone here. Do you have a favorite episode that you've been a part of, but not just a favorite episode that you've done, a favorite episode of any show that you've been on?
Oh, fuck.
So anything you've been a part of, whether it's my show, it's Young Kings Wrestling, something you did with Smacked Raw, your Get Yo podcast episode, those wrestling girls. Do you have a favorite episode or even a favorite part of an episode from anything you've done, or just, it could be your own show, because obviously you've created ShElite Showcase, you've taken it out on its own, you've done this show, so you've got a lot to choose from.
I do, and that's the problem. So I'm gonna do what everyone else does and kind of just give a few answers, because it's so hard to just narrow it down to one. I speaking my channel personally, I think the first episode we did, as ShElite on its own, on the new channel, branched off of Smacked Raw, I think that might be one of my favorite episodes we've done. Just because it was just, this new exciting energy of being yo, okay, this is it. This is just me and you now, Savannah. It's go time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, it wasn't, the typical format I have of the show, which I am going to change slightly. I'm not going to do dark and dark elevation anymore, because there's no point. It's just a lot of me talking. I mainly did it, spoiler, to take up time to make my episodes longer.
Okay.
Because half the time I never watched them. So
I know you went and got the results, but at least we knew what was going on. I enjoyed that about what you did was now, because I refuse to fucking watch those shows now, if anything interesting happened, I was at least aware of it.
So I think if there's a good storyline, the Sunny Kiss Joey Janela shit happened all on dark and dark elevation, and the Swole Diamante stuff happened on dark and dark elevation, which that's what pisses me off. Whatever, neither here nor there. So if something big like that happens, I think I'm still gonna talk about it. I'm just not gonna run down fucking 10 to 13 matches every time again, because that's just a lot.
Right.
So for ShElite, the first episode, I guess back, I really liked the Halloween episode we got to do. the spooky showcase, just because I like the themed ones. I like where I can just like not be as serious, and I try to make ShElite like not super serious unless something serious happens, like I've talked about so many different things on there. But for Smackin It Raw, because I've been on so much, I think the everybody trying to fuck episode is still so funny to me.
It was a good show.
It was such a good show. I've watched it back like twice because I'm in tears laughing the entire time. So I'd say that one, either of the clusterfucks. The 200th episode was also very entertaining, and I'm happy I got to be a part of that. Like, looking back now, like, I'm so happy, and like, I didn't miss it because that was something I wanted to do because I was on vacation.
Right.
Literally, I left that night. After I left the call, I said, I gotta drive 13 hours back. See you guys later. But then, for Havoc Hour, we did the entire Star Wars series, which I literally had to watch for that show. Halloween and Friday the 13th. Those were... and the Spider-Man episode we just did. Because we were all over the damn place, and it was like 2 a.m. for me and Reek, and it was just so fun and laid back. So like, I like doing the ones that aren't necessarily fully wrestling related.
Right. And I mean, we introduced you to movies, so that was always a plus, you know.
I watched movies.
From what I can tell, from what we have discussed, you had never seen a movie before you met Reek and I.
That is such a lie, because I have.
That's a fact. We also have a question as far as podcasting goes.
Do I have to guess?
Well, actually, yes. Why don't you guess first? Who you think asked that last question? Which I'll read back to you.
Yeah.
See if you can pinpoint it. What is your favorite episode you have been a part of to date? Any show is the question.
Oh man. I have a little cheat sheet. That's why I'm looking down in case people are wondering. I'm gonna say heel tactics, Justin.
Take a shot.
Damn it. At the end, after we're done, can you tell me who says what?
Oh, absolutely.
I can't even open the bottle. I haven't touched this one in so long.
Well, Katie's opened that bottle. As a podcaster who has podcasted from vacation, who has done shows on her own, unintentionally and intentionally, who has guest starred on various different podcasts and created 2 shows on her own and hosted and managed those. What is one thing podcasting wise that you want to try to improve upon?
Oh, that's terrible. Something I want to improve on. Podcasting, right?
Yep.
That's awful. Ironically enough, I want to be more professional.
As we're drinking.
As we're drinking. No, I mean, for some things I do. Like, I always try and make this one, again, excluding this episode because this is mine, so we're just gonna have fun with it. But I always try and make ShElite, like, I put on my professional voice, my workplace voice, not a customer service voice.
Big girl pants.
I put on the big girl pants. I try and make this one like super professional-ish, like laid back, but I try and like focus more. But so maybe that, like, continuing that for this show. See, I don't know. I kind of talked about it when I made my notes thing, my tweet about like 2021 and what I want to do in 2022. I kind of just want to like, I need to like branch out more and gain new people into my circle here.
And it's terrifying, right? Like,
oh, it's so terrifying.
Getting out of your bubble. Yeah.
Terrifying.
reaching out to people that you've never really spoke to, you don't really know, to ask to come and do something with you, to get to know them better when you've got a comfort zone. Like, it's hard to get out of your comfort zone.
Oh, it's so difficult. And I mean, it was difficult for me to even like get on another show. Like your Smackin It Raw was the first show I guest starred on. Or I was a guest
That's true.
Guest on, I should say. And look where we are now.
Look where we are now. I'm
the porno
interviewing
poppy.
you about your life, and you're the porno poppy. Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we won't. So you want to branch out a little more and work on being more professional as we get drunk and dive into your life as a podcaster.
More professional, mainly just for this show. Like, I still want ShElite to be super laid back, serious when I need to be. Like, this is gonna come out after the next ShElite, but the next ShElite that I'm doing, I'm gonna have a shit ton to talk about, and I'm gonna make that serious, and I'm gonna lay down the law about that. So, like, like, I've been drunk for ShElite 4 different times since its start, especially on my birthday, because, like, the show fell literally on my 25th birthday, so I had to.
I was there for that.
You were. You've been there for all of them. You're always in the chat, and I appreciate it.
Well, you put on a good product. It gives me something to do on Thursdays when there's no wrestling on, and I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
I also like talking shit in the chat and trying to make you, break.
Yeah. I've been pretty good at not breaking.
Speaking of breaking, let's see if you break when you have to answer who asked what's one thing you want to improve upon in podcasting.
Jizzy. Fuck. Damn, I'm not gonna get any of these right. I hope you're aware.
You might.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely not doing as much.
Do you have a favorite food that you like to pair with your alcohol?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Nothing specific?
Mm-mm.
Do you have anything for dinner tonight?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you have for dinner? This isn't one of the questions, by the way. I'm just chit-chatting.
Asking. Pork chops and French fries.
Pork chops. Okay. You a big fan of chicken?
I do like chicken, yeah.
Well, one of the questions is, what is your favorite kind of chicken to eat?
Favorite kind of chicken to eat? Fucking ass.
You asked these people to come up with a out of the box question and then a professional question.
I did. I brought this by myself.
You really did.
That was a good segue, though. I'm very proud of you. My favorite.
I had to work for that one. I worked hard.
You did. You know, and you earned it. My favorite way to eat chicken. Is that what you said?
No, favorite kind of chicken to eat.
Kind of chicken to eat.
So like fried, grilled, nuggets.
I do love me some chicken nuggets. I think it might
tenders.
I think it might be chicky nugs, just because I'm a child still. Like, chicken nuggets are a solid choice, but fried chicken's also fantastic. I had that the other night, actually. Oh, damn. Now I really want chicken. I hate you.
I didn't ask. I just asked the questions that were given to me, and some of them may be mine. So you're going with fried chicken or chicken nuggets or
yes.
Both?
Both. Not the same
Some
time.
sort of chicken fried.
Yeah.
All right. And who do you think asked you that question?
I don't even know. Benji. Oh my god. I hate this. Alright, I'm 0 for 3. I'm doing great.
You are doing fantastic, and I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
So, as you know, being a podcaster and getting your product out there requires you to be a part of the IWC, which at times is toxic as shit. We got to deal with that shit all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you got to go out there, you got to read all this negative shit that people say and just deal with all the bullshit. We're dealing with it right now with the stuff with Big Swole and everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So, how have you maintained your love for wrestling and navigated the pitfalls of this toxic ass community?
Was toxic ass like how it was written?
Yes.
Okay, that might help me. Probably not. So so I've been a fan obviously since I was a kid. So like before social media, and I know people think I'm like a fucking child. I'm 25, so there was not social media when I first started watching wrestling.
Almost. I mean, MySpace might have been out.
In '96. Well, no, I was born in
Yeah,
'96.
maybe.
I didn't start watching until like. No, I probably was watching that year. I just don't remember.
Well, you always tell that story about you in a Stone Cold onesie in the crib.
Yeah, I was in a Stone Cold t-shirt. I had binky in my mouth. There was TV on the background. Yeah, I still want to find that picture. I keep forgetting. I'm never gonna find it. People are just gonna think I'm lying. But no, I mainly try to avoid the toxicity as much as I can. I try not to engage in it, unless it's something that like seriously affects either me or my friends. It's like this big swole thing has been. I tweeted it. I was like, TK's a fucking clown. Like, diversity needs to be included in every aspect. Like, diversity and inclusion need to be included in everything. And that's and it's true. So I try to avoid it as much as possible, and I chime in when necessary, because as someone with a platform, I feel like I have a right to express how I feel, and people want to know maybe how I feel about a certain situation. And I kind of just try and focus on the certain wrestlers that I do like, and like that's why I still watch the products that I do. Like I watch it for the people, sometimes the storylines, but mainly for the people. And I try and avoid all of the negative people, the people who are just toxic in those companies and fans. So I just try and avoid it and look on the positive side as much as possible through my favorites. I think I answered the question.
Yeah, I mean, the question was, how do you maintain your love for wrestling, and how do you navigate the pitfalls of this toxic ass community? So, you navigate it by avoiding it.
Yeah.
And you maintain your love by focusing on the people that you enjoy watching, people that you enjoy seeing, and sometimes the storyline. So you focus on what you loved about wrestling, and you try to block out the rest of it.
Yeah.
And no, I get that. I kind of feel the same way, because as podcasters, it can be hard. Like I've had multiple co-hosts at this point. A couple of which have felt like it's becoming a job, and when it becomes a job, they're not having fun podcasting anymore, and they don't want to do it. And
Yeah.
being online, analyzing matches, analyzing shows, like it does kind of take away that little bit of love that you have for what we're doing. So
Yeah.
I get that 100%. One of the questions that you always ask on this podcast is 3 wrestlers that you would like to sit down with and have dinner.
Uh-huh.
But before we get into that, who do you think asked you the pitfall question? Because I have to fucking remember to do that, and I am failing to do so hard.
No,
so
you're doing great. You're doing great. See, part of me thinks it was him, but
think about the way this person talks.
I'm torn between 2 people.
Okay.
But what if I just kept guessing the same person for each question until I got it right?
I mean, that once you got 2 right, you could knock that person off the list.
I know. That's fuck. TC. Fuck. Damn it.
Incorrect.
I am doing bad. 0 for 4.
I actually probably should have done this one after the question, or the chicken question, because the question is, A, it's a 2-parter. What 3 wrestlers would you sit down with and have dinner? And B, where would you take them to eat? So what 3 wrestlers do you want to sit down with to have a meal? And I'm assuming, seeing as you are from the pits of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, it would be somewhere near your hometown, favorite food place or something where you'd like to take them to go get something to eat.
Okay. All right. Let me think about. I'm gonna get the wrestlers first, and then I'll think about a place. Actually no. Place, we'll go to Cheesecake Factory. That's a bougie ass place. They got some good food. It's a
Okay.
nice casual place. You can get fancy with it. You can go casual. Say Cheesecake Factory, which now I want cheesecake, but that's neither here nor there.
Cheesecake and chicken.
Cheesecake and chicken. Let's make it a store. Let's make it a restaurant. Um, but Lita, because she
Lita.
was one of my inspirations growing up. Like I always wanted to be Lita, because I was the tomboy. I wore like I had the same type of fashion, not the thong fucking sticking out of the pants, but like that type of fashion was like me growing up.
Well, I was gonna say, I'd hope not. You were like 9 when she was popular.
Uh, yeah, yeah, I wasn't doing that. Don't worry. But Lita for sure. Um, fuck. Cause I
Yeah,
got
it's not easy. It's
no.
not easy being on the other end of these questions, not knowing what they are, and then just having people. So, what 3 wrestlers do you want to sit down with? What would be the name of your novel if someone wrote a book about you off the top of your head? It's not easy.
No, it's not. Um, shit. Hmm. This is actually really difficult. I knew Lita was gonna be a given, but
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would assume Britt Baker would be one, but also like there's nowhere. I mean, you're taking them all to Cheesecake Factory, so it is what it is. But I'm like, there wouldn't be anywhere I think in Pittsburgh you would take Britt that she probably hasn't been or didn't know about. So
that's true. I just take them all to like fucking Sheets. We just go to the gas station. No. Lita, John Cena, because
oh yeah,
that was my favorite growing up. I was a Cena stan. Like I still have a lot of the shit. Um, and like getting to see him wrestle again at SummerSlam was so cool. But he's also like this big movie star now, and like he's done so much outside of wrestling. Like I would like to just talk to him about like what made you decide to leave, or, like when are you actually gonna retire kind of thing. Are you just gonna come do the summer of Cena every year, or like any of that shit? Like I'd be very intrigued. um hmm no, I need
you
one
got one
more.
more.
I know I need one more. um when I can't think of any wrestlers.
Well, we know that you became a fan of wrestling because of the Young Bucks
a
or
fan
part of the IWC
a fan of AEW because of the Young Bucks originally, yeah.
and Kenny Blomega.
See, I wasn't like the biggest Kenny fan though. It was mainly the Bucks.
You love you some Hangman. You also love you some Adam Cole, who's sitting over there in the corner looking really sad. You haven't said his name yet.
I know part of me was like Adam Cole, of course, but I didn't want to make them like too like predictable. Um, so Adam's like my backup right now.
Adam, you get invited if no one shows up.
Yeah, if no one else shows up to my party, Adam's invited. I'm really just trying to think back to like my childhood. No, you know what? Fuck it. Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. That he does everything. And if it leads to me being on a Broken Skull session, bet. Plus,
All right.
I feel like
Very.
he would just be so laid back. He would just be drinking a beer, chilling. I think that'd be a great conversation.
I mean, he has great conversations with people all the time.
Exactly. As one
Very easy
interviewer
to
to
talk
another,
to.
Steve.
Let's sit down and have some Cheesecake Factory.
So cold at the Cheesecake Factory. What a concept.
And who do you think that question came from?
Um. Hmm. I'm gonna say. Um. Apron bump.
Eh.
Damn it.
And now, Miss Katie, while you are taking that shot,
Oh no.
prepare yourself Because the rack is going to step in. He has a couple of specific questions on this list he felt he should be the one to ask. He wanted to be a part of. So I know that you have said I make you uncomfortable. I plan to make you extremely comfortable here in a second.
Please don't.
Because now we are going to get a little more intimate with Miss Katie Kinzy, baby. Yeah, take that shot.
Mm-hmm.
She swallows, ladies and gentlemen. Don't spit. I just don't make me a liar. Do not make me a liar. All right. So the next question for you, Miss Katie Kinzy, baby. And again, as you know, this is all consensual. So you can tell the rack to go fuck himself if you would like. I will immediately go do so. I have no problem with that. The question that was brought in is when it is time for Miss Katie to get intimate, does she prefer lights on or lights off?
Is seriously a question?
I would not be making this up and asking this question if someone did not submit that question for this podcast.
Oh my god.
Do you prefer to be able to see the person you are making sweet, 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 passionate love to? Or do you want to be in the dark so no one knows what's going on and who's really there?
Lights on.
And who do you think asked that question?
Now, part of me is thinking back to a conversation we had on New Year's Eve, and this person demanding their questions be asked by the rack. But I have a feeling he wouldn't ask that for reasons. But fuck it. No, because maybe you're trying to trick me.
I will tell you, I had no plan of actually asking Reek's questions as the rack. The rack is going to ask questions when they are appropriate for the rack. And if Reek wanted his questions asked by the rack, he should have made questions appropriate to the racks. So now, whether or not you think Reek would do that, that is completely up to you. If he just wanted to fuck with you and throw your game off, that could have been his question. If not, could have been one of our many other friends.
We do have a lot of friends. I'm gonna say Jizzy. Oh, you're joking.
I am not joking.
Damn it. I hate this.
I feel like I should tell you after the fact because you're already drinking and you're not keeping track anyway. I've not paying attention. I've already deleted some of them, not thinking, oh wait, I was supposed to go back and tell her who asked the question. So now they're gone. But
you don't have the messages anymore?
I do have the messages. I'd have to go and look the messages up from each person to tell you what they asked. So
I mean,
we can do that.
That's.
I wrote them all in notes, so they were all in one place. Yeah. So, I will tell you, I've asked all the questions from one person so far, and you have not gotten them right at all. So one person is completely eliminated, no longer available, and you have not guessed that person correctly yet.
Fuck. This sucks.
Let's keep it fun though. Like we're having fun. We're having a good time. You're drinking, so
we're having a great time. I'm feeling it because this shit's intense.
You ever been arrested before?
I have not.
This isn't the question. This is the lead-in. So the question is, if you had to spend a week in jail, or you could take a Rubik's Cube in with you and leave when you complete the Rubik's Cube, which would you rather do? Spend a full week in jail, or go in with the Rubik's Cube and leave when you finished it?
I'm going in with a Rubik's Cube.
You think you can complete a Rubik's Cube in less than a week?
I think so. I've gotten close.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't successfully done it, but I mean, it's been a while since I've like held a Rubik's Cube in my hand. But I feel like I can do it under a week.
You got nothing but time, right?
Exactly. What else am I gonna do? Bang my head against the wall? That too.
Well, between like scrubbing toilets and scissoring in the showers, like nothing else goes on in women's prison. So
Shut
nothing
up.
but time.
Shut up.
Isn't that? I mean, every 70s movie I've watched about women's prisons that happens, but
Orange is the New
it's
Black.
neither here nor there. Yep. See, exactly. Orange is the New Black. It's a TV show on Netflix. They scissor in the shower.
It is. They probably do. I don't know. I stopped watching it for the first season. It got too much.
And that is one thing you enjoy. we've introduced you to movies. You've watched plenty of TV shows, but this is, you know, a newfound passion for you.
Wait.
So
I have to guess.
you do. I was getting to that part.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Continue.
Yeah. So, well, now you made me lose my train of thought, damn it.
You're welcome.
It's something you enjoy. Orange is the New Black, TV shows, movies, something that we recently introduced you to that you fell in love with, and we're so happy to, bring the joy of cinema into your life. So, when you decide who asked the Rubik's Cube question, think about that love. I'm trying to help you. You've been drinking a lot.
I have.
Think about somebody that would ask a question about a Rubik's Cube that, would think about spending time in jail.
I mean, we've joked that he's been in prison and that his apartment looks like a prison. But based off your facial reactions, I'm going to say it's not him.
I don't want you to finish that bottle before we finish this interview, so.
I'll just lower the dosage of my shots. To be fair, it wasn't full coming in. Warning, it was like more than half gone. Was it Justin from Get Show?
It was not Justin from Get Show.
Damn it! That was my gut.
Correct guess.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm actually enjoying watching you, struggle to take in this alcohol and answer these questions. But anyway, so you've got interests outside of wrestling. We know you're a big Harry Potter fan. We know that you've recently got into the MCU, saw your first MCU movie in theaters. And all of the cinema stuff that we've done for the Havoc Hour and all that. So who would you consider your biggest non-wrestling influence?
Ooh, that's a good one. I thought you were going to be like, who would play you in a movie about yourself? Because I've been asked that question before by people, and I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Well, think about it, because it's coming.
Shit. My biggest influence outside of wrestling. That's a damn good question.
It's crazy, right? Like, they ask you that question, you got to think about it, but like you also feel the pressure to not have dead air on the podcast. You're like, fuck, I got to say something. What am I going to say?
Dude,
Makes it even harder.
I hate dead air too.
I know you do.
It's my biggest insecurity about podcasting is dead air, but like I know it happens. Fuck. Part of me just wants to say Mark Wahlberg. Cause like he's done so much. And I'm a big like Mark Wahlberg fan. Like his movies are fantastic. I feel like he just, and like Wahlburgers, I've never actually ate there. There's one in the mall near my house, but I haven't eaten there yet. But he just does so much. Maybe him. Sandra Bullock's also like one of the best humans ever.
How weird is it that you said that after we just spent like all last night asking you about Sandra Bullock movies? Yeah,
I know, which obviously I've seen Sandra Bullock movies. I love Sandra Bullock. She's fantastic.
You don't know about the Three Seashells, so okay. We need to get you up on Demolition Man.
Whatever. I've seen Sandra Bullock movies. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say Mark Wahlberg and Sandra Bullock.
Just because Sandra's a very good person.
She's a fantastic human being, I feel like. Okay. Have you ever heard anything bad about Sandra Bullock?
No.
Exactly.
It's fair. We do podcast about wrestling. Mm-hmm. That's why we're here. Mm-hmm. That's how we all got to know each other. So there are quite a few questions in the realm of wrestling and wrestling podcasting.
Okay.
You do a show though that is specifically to kind of help bring a spotlight to and empower women in wrestling. Like that's what ShElite Showcase is to talk about women's wrestling and to spotlight women's wrestling and the things that you enjoy, not just about women's wrestling, things you enjoy about wrestling in general. What would you say? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You have to tell me who asked that last question.
I thought you were transitioning to, that's why I didn't cut you off.
No.
Can you read
I fucked up the last time too, and I played it off like I wasn't. So I was already, yeah.
Can you read me the question again?
Who was your biggest non-wrestling influence?
I'm gonna say you.
Eh.
Damn it. I told you I was gonna get none of these fucking right.
That is now two people that are completely wiped off the board, and you have not guessed either of their questions.
Oh, man. I can't wait to know all of these after the fact. Yeah, I got enough.
But anyway, what are some of your favorite women's wrestling moments from this past year?
Oh, it's past year. Okay.
Yeah, 2021 was a big year, and you actually did just go through and do an episode where you talked about your favorite moments in general of 2021, and you recap that. But a lot of great things happened in women's wrestling in 2021 that we know and we've talked about. So what were some of your favorites?
Sasha and Bianca main eventing WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's a given. NWA holding a all women's pay-per-view.
Empower.
Because you and I were talking like about it while it was happening. Because you're like the only other person I knew who was like bought it and was watching it. So we were talking about that. I can't even. Part of me doesn't even want to say the Queen's Crown tournament because it was so terribly done.
Yeah, like we got it, but they did a shit job.
Like we got it, but like, what did we really get out of it?
Well, Katie's thinking, just so you guys know, both of us have come down with some sort of sickness. So between me and my cough drops and Katie coughing, maybe both of us sounding nasally, there's a mutual Megatron sickness going around. We tested negative. I know you had the vid.
I did have the vid. I'm negative now.
You're still suffering a little bit.
Yeah, side effects are killing me. Like, killing me. Like, I'm wheezing going to sleep. It's terrible. Highly don't recommend it. Fuck.
Bianca and Sasha. Empower.
Yeah. There had to be more. See, I'm having an issue, like, and I do this sober, too, like, distributing what happened in 2020 versus what happened in 2021.
Yeah.
Because the years blend together because we've been stuck inside 90% of both of those years.
Well, the majority of 2020 had no crowd. So, like, if there was a crowd there, it probably didn't happen in 2020.
That too. I mean, I got to see Rhea Ripley live twice.
Nice.
I love Rhea Ripley. Can I just say that? Like, everything about her, that's like I think she's over Sonya right now.
Really?
Yeah. I love Rhea Ripley.
Those are beautiful. A couple things. I mean, Xia Li's main roster debut.
And that graphic.
And your love and thirst for Xia Li to kick you in the face in 2021. That
is true. My thirst for women in general in 2021. Because, I came out as bisexual. As bisexual. Which definitely helped. Because I was just like a closeted, just like, oh my god, these women are so pretty. And now I can like just openly talk about it. Like with you, Justin Reek, mainly because we thirsty. And we all have a mutual love for some of the women. Like Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose.
Oh, Toxic Attraction. They took all the gold in NXT. That was awesome. I feel like that's it. Like nothing else is like coming to mind. So I'll just say those ones.
Okay. And who do you think asked you that question?
See, now it's hard because I don't know who's been gone.
To be fair, you didn't know who was anything before
I
we
haven't
started,
gotten a
so
single fucking question right.
that is correct. So everyone's still technically on the board for you.
I hate this so much. Reek.
Eh. That is incorrect.
Damn it. It's gonna come to a point where I'm not gonna be able to pour myself a fucking shot. So.
It's a good transition moment. So, Miss Katie Kindy Bebe, again, while you you
Oh no,
swallow down that shot. You discussed with that idiot Matt Ritter that you enjoy movies like the Harry Potters. You did the Star Wars thing with the lights and the sabers and the incest. And we also know that you are a wrestling fan. So the rec has one very important question for you. Fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
Draco Malfoy, Jar Jar Binks, and Goldberg.
Oh my god. First of all, I'm offended. I'm killing Jar Jar Binks. Hands fucking down.
Okay, so Jar Jar is dead. He gets no love from Katie. Draco or Goldberg, who you fucking?
I'm a fuck Goldberg.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say, I'll go with that because we know Goldberg can't go more than 5 minutes anyway. So it's not like it's going to be a long. I feel you, baby.
Exactly.
I get it.
It's going to be quick. And then Draco has a nice character arc at the very end. He redeems himself. And, I love Slytherins. I'm not opposed to them. So, and Tom Felton's hot as fuck. So, yeah. I'll marry Tom Felton.
You're gonna marry Tom Draco. We're gonna fuck Goldberg for all the 30 seconds it's gonna last, and Jar Jar gets killed. No love for Jar Jar.
No, I hate Jar Jar Binks. Anyone who knows me knows I hate Jar Jar Binks.
And who do you think asked that question?
See, I feel like that question's freak because he knows I hate Jar Jar and Goldberg, but part of it has to be, or you. I've been wrong every single time.
Every time.
This is not good. Reek. Fuck, no. This is terrible.
It really is.
People are getting their wish. This is not good.
It is not good. And while we're at it, let's do that question that you said you've had people ask you before. So if you could have your own biopic, seeing as you want to ask everyone what the title of their biography would be, who would play you and what would you call the movie about Katie Kinsey Bebe?
Oh shit. I don't know what the fuck I call it. I don't know. My answer in the past was always Emma Stone for some reason because she was like a funny person. I think I'm funny. Other people don't think I'm funny. Reek. But I think I'm fucking hysterical. But I feel like my answer would be different now.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of help while you're thinking, and eliminate one person off the potential board of who could have asked that question.
Oh my god. Good.
This was a question that Justin from Get Yo wanted to ask, but I told him it was already taken, and he wanted me to let you know that he felt Jennifer Lawrence was a good pick to play you.
Oh, I do love Jennifer Lawrence because she can do the serious shit. She can do the funny stuff. Jennifer Lawrence is a damn good pick. Yeah. Yeah, alright. I'll go with Justin on this one. I think Jennifer Lawrence would be good.
And what would you call the movie?
Oh, fuck. What would I call it? Shit.
I personally would have gone with Anna Kendrick. Something about how weird she is in Pitch Perfect reminds me of you.
Well, I mean...
And like Antisocial.
I'm very
But
antisocial.
then breaking out of being antisocial and making friends.
Oh, like I'm such an introvert, extrovert. Like I'm both. In depending on the situation, is crazy. But she also can sing. So yeah, you know what? True. Anna Kendrick. Thank you. I still don't have an answer for what the fuck I'm gonna call this movie. Um, shit. My brain is not working right now.
It's probably all the alcohol because you haven't guessed a single person right yet.
I know. Which I knew was gonna happen, but if I can get this alcohol out of my fucking face, I'm gonna be happy because it's been sitting there just staring at me. I don't know. I feel like having the word kinder, because it's kind of like my last name in the title somewhere, would be like, haha, play on words funny. Because people pronounce my last name like that. But I don't know like how to use that in a title.
What's like one of your favorite movies?
I have a lot. I love Remember the Titans. Like that might be one of my favorite movies. I can't think of anything else I've watched. And I have watched movies, I promise. I have a lot of alcohol in my system right now.
If I were to name a biopic about you, it would be It's Not a Fucking Candy Shop.
Not a fucking candy shop. Yeah. Or you can just call it Candy Shop.
You could just call it Candy Shop as well.
I'm gonna just call it Candy Shop because I can't think of anything else.
Candy Shop, the Katie Kinder story.
Yeah, the story of Katie Kinder.
There you go.
Make it fancier.
And who do you think asked that question?
So it's not Justin from Get You. Because that question was already taken when he wanted to answer it. Or ask it. TC.
And all right, listen, Katie, I feel bad for you. So here's what we're gonna do.
This is fucking terrible. Give me
I'm
a
gonna
choice.
tell you. Well, here's no. That's not what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you all the people that have already asked. I've asked the questions of.
Okay.
That that are no longer available.
All right.
And I will tell you, there's only one question. There's only one question each for the remaining people. So each person has one question left. I've gone out of order. I've mixed everything up. And you have already answered all of the questions from Heel Tactics.
Okay.
Carolina's gone.
Okay.
Justin from Get Yo's gone.
Okay.
And I'm gone.
Oh, fuck, man. I feel bad because you're here and I didn't get your questions right.
Not even close. Well, we'll get into it. So, yeah, you got one question left from everyone else.
Okay. That helps.
Have you ever thought about booking a wrestling show?
I mean, maybe like when we did the drafts, like with Vince, that would be like the only time I like thought about like booking a show.
Well, let's say you're Tony Khan, you're Katie Khan in WWE. It's New Year's Day. They want you to come up with a brand new pay-per-view. What are you calling it, and where are you having it held?
Ooh, okay. What would I call it? It's like on New Year's Day, right?
Well, it doesn't have to be on New Year's Day. The actual question itself is, if you had to put together a pay-per-view, what would you call it, and where would it be held? Day one was a brand new thing, so I was trying to do the Katie thing.
No, you're good. I was just making sure it wasn't just like a New Year's Day pay-per-view.
It could be Halloween, Christmas, fucking President's Day, whatever. Not the date's not important. It's what you would call it and where you would hold it.
I want to think about where I'd hold it first. Because part of me is just like, oh, Pittsburgh. But like, that's not fucking original. I don't want to do my hometown. I want to like travel to it. I want to do something for it. I would have the pay-per-view in... No, because that'd be stupid. Just because I haven't been to that side of the state yet, I'll have it in Philly. The old
Okay.
ECW arena. Jesus, I can't speak.
Okay.
Just for nostalgia purposes, we'll put it there. Because I can't think of anywhere else in Philadelphia because I haven't been there. Because fuck Philadelphia. But, now I gotta name this pay-per-view? Shit.
And now, mind you, this is your pay-per-view. So if you want to make it an all-women's pay-per-view, you can do that. And you can name it something around... You could call the show ShElite Showcase if you want. Make it an all-women's pay-per-view.
ShElite Showdown.
ShElite Showdown?
I think that's a very good one.
Okay.
ShElite Showdown? Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
ShElite Showdown in Philly at the ECW Arena.
Yeah. Because helping prove that women can do extreme matches, can do the cage matches and all this bullshit. Because for the longest time, they wouldn't let women do that. So, just to help prove that the women can do whatever the men can do, and sometimes better.
We're doing ShElite Showdown in Philly. The ECW Arena.
Can't believe I said Philadelphia.
All death matches.
Jesus.
I can't either. And who do you think asked that question?
Kyle. Fuck. No.
I did take 3 people off the list for you.
I know. It just seemed like a question he would ask. I don't know. Damn it.
Now I'm debating. I might wait a little while. I don't know. Like, I'm debating because it's one question for everyone left. So now someone's off the list, but do I tell you who's off the list now? Or because all that's going to do is eventually you're going to get down to the last question and be like, all right, it's this person. So how much do you have enough alcohol left for 1, 2, 3, 4 questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm not gonna tell you who just got removed from the list.
Yeah, don't. I want to be invested in.
But
oh no, the rack.
Speaking of booking, Katie, let's say you are a booker of a wrestling promotion, and the promoter tells you one of the following people you have to book. You have to book 3 of the following people to win world titles at your biggest show. Your options are Bill Goldberg.
I knew it.
Charlotte Flair, Matt Riddle, or Natalya. Which 3 are you choosing to win world titles at your biggest show?
So whoever asked this question, fuck off. That's not fair. My biggest pay-per-view.
I'm fairly certain that was their intent was to get that reaction out of you, so I'm sure they'll be happy.
See, I don't hate, like, I have a disdain for Matt Riddle, but not as big as you.
You really gonna sit here on a show with me and book Matt Riddle to win a world title?
No.
You?
No.
Because I'll leave. We'll just have a show now.
No, stop. Don't leave. So my choices are, I feel like Goldberg, Riddle, Flair, Charlotte, or Natty, right?
That is correct. You gotta pick 3 of those 4.
3 of them?
3 of them. Yep.
Fuck. Okay. Charlotte, because she holds the fucking title anyways, no matter what I do. Or what I would do. Natty, because give her one before she retires. And Bill, so I can have someone ruin his career and get him off the shelf the next time he defends it, which will be the next night.
Okay. Okay. So Goldberg, Charlotte, and Natalia, and I do appreciate that. I feel like the only reason you didn't say Riddle was because you have to look me in the eye, and you couldn't do it.
I couldn't
So
do it. I
we'll
have
put that
too
we'll
much
put that
I have
asterisk
too
out
much
there.
respect for you to have
I
Riddle
appreciate
win a
that.
title. Because I don't want to see
Who do you
that
think?
either.
Who do you think asked that question?
See, I'm torn between Reek and TC because they both know I hate all of those people. So. um, Reek. No, it was TC probably. Fuck. I'm mad. I'm upset. I need a soundboard. I'm mad. Damn it. No, okay, fine. Since there's only like 3 questions left, I'll add a little more to the shots. Now.
All right. Um. mm. So we talked a little bit about the ShElite showcase, and you coming up with the idea when you were on Smacked Raw, and then taking that out on your own and kind of doing your thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
So since you created the show from nothing but your own mind and built it up, how, if at all, has it changed the way that you look at everyday life?
I feel like I've talked about this. I don't know if it was on ShElite or if I was just talking to like you in the group chat, but I look at analytics a lot more now. Like I'm very invested on like how many people view it, how many likes it gets, what like the watch time and stuff is, because YouTube and Anchor are very good at like breaking shit down for you.
Okay.
I'm trying so hard not to burp.
Well, I think what they were getting at more so is like you've done this, you've created your own show, you've built it up, you've promoted it. So with that knowledge that you have been able to do something like this, how do you carry that into your everyday life and the tasks that you
Okay.
that sort of thing?
Um.
Do you see yourself any differently? Do you view like when you're does it help you like when you're doing something be like, listen, I can do this. I've done harder. I've made shit out of nothing. I got this. Or are you very self-deprecating still and refuse to admit that, you have talent?
A little bit of both. So like I'm still very self-deprecating, and like I even said it the other day that like it was after you left the call after the Spider-Man podcast. I was telling Reek and Justin, I was just like, even though like I help with Smack Draw, I feel like I'm not contributing a lot because you do all the talking and I just laugh at everything you say, and I say something sometimes.
That's a very important aspect of my show.
Is
Just
me laughing.
people laughing at the things I say is very important to me.
And I laugh a lot.
You do.
Sober and drunk, both. But so I and like I even said it. I've said it multiple times. Like I put myself down a peg. Like I don't be like I'm the hottest shit fucking around. Y'all can't mess with me. I'm never gonna be like that. I'm never gonna be like too big for myself kind of thing. So I'm always gonna like somewhat put myself down, and I'm very proud of everything ShElite's done. I feel like I've done a damn good job with building something out of nothing. Because I have, and I'm basically my own boss now. I dictate what the shows are gonna be, how they run. I control everything on this computer. Um, so like I definitely feel, I mean, more empowered now. Just in like everyday life, like at work, like New Year's Eve, for example, was a goddamn shit show. I worked for 7 hours. Post COVID, could barely breathe, had to wear a mask because like Rona's spreading like it's nothing up in here. And I mainly was like working the front with like we call them littles because they're under 18, so they can't be by the oven. So I was working with the littles most of the time. And
What?
so I work in a pretzel shop, right?
You work at a candy shop? Yeah, we talked about that.
Whatever. And we have kids there who are under the age of 18, and you have to be 18 to be in the kitchen slash by the oven. So we call them littles.
To be fair, Hansel and Gretel taught me the exact opposite. So
Yeah, we don't want them crawling into the oven, so we keep them up front. And so I was mainly helping them, A, because like I still can't breathe fully right. Like, I'm still having severe breathing issues and everything like that. And I was doing a lot of just, like, walking back and forth, trying to, like, communicate between the Bakers and the Littles. So I feel like I've definitely gained more responsibility because of this podcast, and, like, I feel like I can take more on as a person.
Okay.
Which is crazy because I'm so fucking fragile. And
well, that's important because I mean, you talk about mental health, like you
yeah.
have it on your podcast all the time. You've been frank about your mental health,
Yes.
on your show, so on and so forth. So like you've got that mix, which is very important to talk about because while you are an advocate for mental health and you have spoke about mental health issues that you have and you've dealt with, you've also got an advocate that hypes you up and talks about how amazing and great you are and all of the great things you do and how proud he is to be your advocate. So it's like that's where that self-deprecating stuff comes in is, yeah, I've got someone telling me I'm amazing and great. I know I did all this stuff, but I've also got this mental stuff over here that I've got to deal with, which is why it's so important for you to talk about that with everyone.
Yeah, because so, like, I was a psychology major in college at one point, and then I became a social work major. That's the degree I graduated with. And so I'm very big into, like, how people think and why they think things. And, like, I really wanted to do something with, like, forensic psychology or social work and, like, why serial killers do the things they do kind of thing. I'm very invested in, like, how the mind works with people. And mental health, I think, is like, mental health, physical health. Like, physical health is way below mental health. You gotta be in your own right set of mind to go forth in your day. It doesn't matter how you feel physically. Like, when I had COVID, for example, I was basically stuck in this room. And thankfully, I had, like, friends online and, like, you guys, and I had, like, access to movies and TV shows and YouTube and all of this stuff, and I had...
Yeah, we introduced you to movies. We talked about that.
Shut the fuck up. No, you did not. That's how I watched all of the Marvel movies in chronological order, which I watched Loki and the first episode of What If today. So, be proud of me. I'm working through it. Loki was fantastic, by the way. I love Tom Hiddleston. Such a great show. I can't wait for season 2. But no, I feel like being able to talk about mental health and not making it this stigma anymore is something I'm gonna constantly do. Like, even on this video, I have the crisis text line and the suicide prevention lifeline because they're so important. So I've always been and will always be a huge advocate of mental health, point blank, period, over everything.
And that's something you end up pretty much talking about every episode. So I wanted to make sure we got that in on this episode too. And I thought that was a perfect question to kind of let you talk about that a little bit because you normally talk about it with your guests, but and a little bit of yourself, but now is your chance to talk about why it's so important to you and so on and so forth. So
oh yeah, like mental health is something I'm always gonna be like, very passionate about. Like, I even said it when I did like my year-end note thing at 2 a.m. while I was laying in bed because I was like, I feel like I need to do something. And oh my god, this alcohol is killing me. Which
we're almost done.
We're
Two
almost
questions
done.
left.
Oh god. But no, like, I've had people who have tried to end their life, like people very close to me. Like, I found out while I was up at school kind of thing. So it hits me hard. Especially, like, with the Daphne thing that happened earlier this year, and like Ashley, Hannah, like, or Hannah, I think is how you pronounce her name. Like, all of that shit hits me hard. And
right.
I don't know, it's something... Mental health is something I struggle with, but have been quiet about until this year.
Yeah.
Like, occasionally I would, like, talk about it with my friends, whatever, but I'm super open about it with, like, everybody. I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking okay. It is what it is at this point. But I suggest getting therapy if it's available to you. If it is. Like, I do not have the funds or insurance to go to therapy right now, which is why I have my friends, and like having a good support system is very important. And you know, I feel like just mental health needs to be talked about more in a positive light, and not just being like, oh, you have depression, oh, you have anxiety, like, I don't know, dude. No, that needs to be talked about in a positive light and be like, I'm working through this, I'm dealing with this, I'm getting through this kind of thing. Nice little tangent about mental health. There you go.
No, again, it's something that's very important to you, very near and dear to your heart. So
Yeah.
if we're gonna get balls deep inside your mind, that's one of the places we have to go. That's where we got to talk. So,
you know, with as much alcohol in me, I'm surprised I didn't cry. So we're doing great.
if I had made you cry, because I don't think you've made anyone else cry, I would have been very proud of myself if I had gotten that emotion
You
out
know,
of you.
I got close. If it makes you feel any better. That's why I
Well,
take
maybe you're gonna cry. You might cry now because you still have to tell me who asked that question.
Oh no!
And I'll read it back for you.
Thank you.
Since you created the show from nothing but your own mind and built it up, how, if at all, has this changed the way that you look at everyday life?
Kyle.
Eh.
Damn it.
I'm telling you, when I read these back to you and you hear them in the person's voice, you're gonna be like, "How did I not figure that out?"
No, I know. I already know. Is the shot glass leaking? What's happening? I already know that like I'm gonna be mad and have to tell all these people, be like, sorry, I don't understand. Like, I suck at reading questions, whatever. Just go. I'm annoyed.
Well, we're kind of on the subject because we've talked a lot about. Actually, hold on. Last one. I'm back for one more, very last one. So, we've talked about ShElite Showcase, you coming out as bi, you advocating for mental health. We've talked about Inside the Mind of and In the Crowd and Up the Butt of, all these great podcasts that you have come up with and done. Love them. They are fantastic. Great listen. You are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
What would you say is your biggest accomplishment? And did it happen on a Sunday? The last part I added. That the last part was not part of the question. The question is, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment? But if it happened on a Sunday, it happened on a Sunday.
That's not fair because I almost just blurred shit out. That's not fucking fair. No, it did not happen on a Sunday.
Was that a small accomplishment?
I mean, it was pretty big. It wasn't like the biggest accomplishment, but it was like it was a nice little consolation prize.
It was pretty big. You all heard it here. Anyway, continue.
Fuck. Can you read me the question one more time? Not as a wreck. Not as a wreck.
Yeah, no. The question is, what is your biggest accomplishment?
All right, let me try it. This is the last question, right?
No, you got one more.
Okay. I'm trying to like fully focus. No, I'll focus mostly. I mean, starting ShElite probably hands down, but oh man, I've said it repeatedly that like Inside the Mind of this show has been my baby. I have been so proud of everything I've got to do with this show. It's something I kind of want to do in Smackin It Raw, but I never got the chance, and I never knew like back then what I necessarily wanted to do with it. I know I wanted to do interviews, and a lot of people do interviews, but I wanted to start with podcasters because
right,
mutual conversation there, and where this has gone already, this would be episode. Hold on, let me think. You, Reek, TC, Justin, Vince, Jizzy, Warren, Abram. This would be episode 9. I've only done 9 of these, which is crazy. What a way to start off the year.
I would have saved yourself for number 10, but that's just me.
I know, but I wanted to save myself for like the first one is the new year, so it just happened to work like that. If I started a week earlier, or 2 weeks earlier, because I release them every 2 weeks, then yes, I would have been number 10. But I'm so proud of everything I've done with this show. I get to talk to people who, like, I don't necessarily get to talk to all the time. Like, I get to talk to Warren Hayes and hear him complain about baseball and birds and whatever else. I get to
Talk
learn
about TikTok with Kyle and
TikTok with
conspiracy
Kyle,
theories with TC.
conspiracy theories with TC,
Reek
rapping
want to be
with
a
Reek.
rapper.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I get to learn more about my friends and people who I have somewhat of a communication with more through this show. Mm-hmm. And that's something because you guys always say it, like, I'm very good at, like, getting people to open up, which I never really thought about until I, like, did a few episodes of the show, and you guys are just, like, you kept saying it. I was like, you know what, maybe you're right. And that's something I'm very proud of, is, like, people are comfortable enough to open up to me. Because that's something I always want to make sure that my guests are comfortable, and I always say it before, or I try and say it before every show. I'm like, if there's a question you don't want to answer, tell me to just fuck off, and you don't have to answer it, basically. Which is what you did in the beginning. Kind of, which I appreciate. And
somebody had to.
I should have just told myself, because people wanted me to just do this, like, fucking Willem Dafoe and Spider-Man and Green Goblin style, and, like, just interview myself, which was not gonna happen, by the way. Never.
What you could have done is you could have recorded yourself asking the questions, and then recorded yourself answering the questions, and then side by side them and edit them together. That would have been magic.
I know, but, like, I don't have the time or capability to do that. Like, I have an editing software. It's not the best, but it does the job. And my editor's currently in Disney, so
yeah.
But no, I'm gonna say thing I'm most proud of besides starting ShElite is Inside the Mind of.
Biggest accomplishment
is
what you've done.
That.
And who asked that question?
That's a good question. Fuck, you're already out. I want to get one of these right.
All right.
Help me out.
I will tell you right now, your choices are either Reek or Pretty Kyle.
Oh, shit. Read me the question.
So now you have... What is your biggest accomplishment? So you got 50-50 on these last two questions.
I know.
And I did ask Warren, but I did not get any questions from Warren yet, so...
Looks like we'll just have to do a part 2 sometime.
Mm-hmm.
That's also something else I want to do, is like part 2s with people and think of different questions, but...
To be fair, well, the reason I brought that up is because we also didn't get any questions from Vince. We wanted to give Vince shit.
Yeah.
But I mentioned it to Warren, and then I never got back to him to, like, hey, you know, like, I bugged everyone else, but I don't want to bug Warren because I like Warren. Like, I give him enough shit as is about, like, Eva Marie and phone wallet cases.
I knew you were going to say phone wallet cases.
Contract signings, so.
His favorite things.
If we do a part 2, we'll get Warren. We'll make sure Vince actually shows up for the show.
Yeah,
like,
which...
How fitting is it that he did not even show up to give you questions, which is why you are now the Pornhub Poppy.
Vince, if you watch and or listen to this, this is why I'm the Pornhub Poppy now.
I'm going to address that on our first episode, so we'll talk about that.
The disrespect I am shown. Just pull my headphone out. Ow. I have a 50 shit out here.
Pretty Kyle or Reek?
Fuck. Pretty Kyle.
And
oh my god, I almost said Reek. I'm so mad.
Well, on the bright side, you're guaranteed to get the last question right. So.
Hold on. I heard my headphone out. What?
I said on the bright side, you're guaranteed to get the last question right now. So.
I'm so mad because I knew it was going to be Reek. I fucking knew. Whatever. Whatever. Go ahead.
Well, one of the things that you've talked about a lot recently is how you wanted to branch out with podcasting, do more podcasts, more shows, and stuff outside of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of your hobbies outside of wrestling that you enjoy to do?
forgot how much Pink Winnie puts me on my ass. Jesus. Ironically enough, before I answer the question, it was this mixed with Sprite, I think, that I drank before I did the Smackin It Raw Hell in a Cell. I think it was Hell in a Cell recap with you and Kyle.
Okay.
And then I threw
Yeah,
up
I remember you were
afterwards.
really drunk on that. Yeah, you were really drunk on that one.
Well, to be fair, I had a Jack and Coke before, like during the pay-per-view, and then I drank 3 cups, like big cups of a mixed drink during the show.
Yeah.
So, that's fun. Fuck. What was the question?
What are some of your hobbies outside of wrestling?
Okay. I like to read. I was just talking about this all day with my one friend that, like, we both have been, like, slacking on reading, and that's something I want to do more, like, going into 2022. Focus more on reading, not writing. Well, and writing, too. I have a creative writing minor I graduated with from college, and that's something I kind of want to get back into because it's something I'm very passionate about, but, like, writer's block's a real thing, and that shit sucks. And, like, I have these ideas. I have a movie script I'm writing. I have a short story I'm writing. And I want to, like, develop them more because they're nowhere near done, which sucks. But I haven't felt motivated to do them. I also like to sing. I was in chorus for, like, 8 years. That's something I love to do. That's why the one tattoo on my shoulder is a music note. And I want this to be a whole music sleeve kind of thing. Because I'm super into music. That's one of my passions. I danced at one point. Not, like, I never took a class. I was never in, like, ballet or jazz or hip-hop or anything like that. I taught myself everything.
Like TikTok.
TikTok before it was TikTok. Like,
Okay.
because TikTok just started a few years ago, and I started teaching myself kind of everything when I was younger.
So you don't breakdance like Justin.
I don't breakdance like Justin. I always wanted to, and I talked about that in the episode. I was like, that would be so cool, because, like, I watched You Got Served so much as a kid, and movies like that, like Step Up, all the Step Ups I love. So shit like that I love to watch. Like dance movies. Is there anything else I like to do? I don't know, I play video games a lot. Or I try to.
What kind of video games you like?
So most recently, like the last game I beat was Resident Evil 8, which was Resident Evil Village. I love the Resident Evil games. I played Biohazard. I still have that. It's like I like FPS games. I like, Butterfly Effect games. So Until Dawn. There's a game called Beyond Two Souls that I was gonna get, but for some reason I couldn't find anywhere. Like physical game. I can buy it on the PlayStation Store, but I wanted like the physical game to put in. When I was younger, I played a lot of like Crash and Spyro, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which I have like the remastered versions of 1 and 2, which I kind of want to go back and play actually. But then I also play this game. It's a shooting game. It's called Valorant. It's on my PC, and it was free. And this was my first time using like a mouse to shoot, because I usually just play with the PlayStation controller. So that was like a new thing for me to learn. So like video games is something I love to do in the spare time that I kind of have. I think that's it. I don't know. I don't do a lot. You know, pandemic was a thing, which kind of sucked. I don't.
You were in a Harry Potter club in high school.
I was.
Where you guys cosplayed as Harry Potter and picked up trash and shit.
No, we did not cosplay.
Expelliarmus trash into the garbage or Leviosa.
We didn't cosplay as Harry Potter characters. But at one point I was in a Harry Potter club in college. It was called Dumbledore's Army. I was the secretary my second year. I was in there. So that would have been my junior year. My senior year, I was VP. And then my super senior year, because I had to stay another year because I got kicked out of my major, I was the president. So I got worked my way up through the ranks. But that club was fun. It was a social service club, basically. And
So if you were president of if you were president of Dumbledore's army, then you were Harry Potter.
I was Harry Potter, except a female Hufflepuff and not a male Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. Okay.
But no, yeah, like I love watching movies. Even though you guys act like I've never seen a goddamn movie in my life, which is false.
That's because every time we talk to you about movies, you're like, I've never seen those. I've never seen that franchise. I've never watched them before.
You guys also are older than me, and I suck at watching movies.
I mean, if every time we bring up a franchise, you're like, oh, I've never seen that, then we just got to assume that you've never watched movies.
Okay, well, give me another franchise, and I'll tell you if I've seen any of the movies in it.
Hellraiser.
I have. Not seen the whole thing, but I've seen like one or two of them. I know one for sure. I think the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
So normally at the end of these shows, do you have any questions for me? Now, obviously, we got a shit ton of questions from everyone else. So I don't know if you want to if you just want me to tell you now as part of the show who answered the question or who asked the questions, or if you want to do that afterwards. If you have any words for the people that asked the questions, if you want to do that instead. I mean, you could ask me questions if you want, I guess, but it's not really about me. I was only I asked you the questions, but I only had two. It was about the group, so.
I'll address the calf because that's mainly who gave us questions. I am. Jesus Christ. Hold on, let me focus. Also, it was Pretty Kyle who asked me that question. I got one out of what, 12?
Yeah, 14.
That's worse. I knew I wasn't getting any right. But to the people who asked me questions, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't get any of them right besides the last one from Pretty Kyle. But I hope my answers were to your liking. That's the answers you kind of were expecting. Or maybe you weren't expecting. But thank you again for just asking me the questions. Even though I kind of asked you guys to ask me questions. Or I gave you guys the opportunity to ask me questions. I feel like I'm rambling a lot.
No, it's good.
Thank you.
So do you want me to tell you who asked the questions, or do you want to do that after the show?
I kind of want you to do that after the show.
Okay. Well, Katie, we all appreciate you opening up and letting us into your hobbies and the things that you enjoy to do outside of wrestling, and some of your thoughts on the inside of wrestling. How you would, book champions that you hate if you had to pick three, or what you would name a wrestling pay-per-view if you were in charge. Your thoughts on, fucking, marrying, and killing three famous characters, and your disdain for Jar Jar Binks, your biggest accomplishments, the things that you've gone through this year, all of the great stuff. This show, because again, all of the people that ask questions for the show, outside of Heel Tactics, who you're going to have a show with,
yes,
has been on the show.
And Benji has not been on the show.
Well, I feel like you're not going to put him on the show, so I was like, let me just try and slide that credit in there.
He was not in the crowd, so I guess we'll give him that.
So, this is a really cool show that you've done. We all had fun coming on and doing it. We all had fun submitting questions to ask you to, peek inside a little bit. And you wanted one fun one and one serious one. I think we got a good mix of that in there. So, thank you for allowing me to come on and not do as good as you, but hopefully make this somewhat entertaining. Let's be honest, it fucking wasn't. It wasn't. But
Stop. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
They'll tell us in the cafeteria. It was nowhere near as good as you, but.
Because I have a certain I don't know, my brain kind of just, like, when I do these shows, my brain kind of just goes in a certain way. I can't even describe it. I couldn't even describe it to you sober, let's be real. I have this certain way of thinking when I do these shows, and it's, like, hard to replicate. Because, like, these are, like, the questions I created and thought of, and, like, I pick the guests kind of thing. But I think you did a fantastic job, and I thank you for being my Katie Walters.
No problem. It's still your show, so you're gonna have to close it out.
Fuck. Okay. But first, let me tell you, there's that much left. Should I just down it?
If you want to.
This was your idea for me to drink.
Yeah, but you were only supposed to drink after everyone you got wrong, and there are no more for you to get wrong now. So I guess we could say, seeing as you basically were given the last one, you've pretty much got them all wrong. And the punishment for getting every single one wrong is to finish the bottle. I'm good with that.
All right. Okay, hold on.
Also, I just get the feeling you want to finish that bottle, so like I'm not going to stop you. Yeah.
So that way it's not my room anymore. It's been staring at me since I threw up from the last time I drank.
How great would this show be if we just ended it with you puking into the camera?
Stop. That's not how it's gonna end. Jesus. Fuck. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
I love how you were like, maybe I'll get a full night's sleep tonight as you're drinking Mountain Dew with your liquor.
I needed a chaser because that shit's foul on its own. Alright, well, the bottle is complete. I am intoxicated because I got every single fucking question wrong.
You got one.
That barely counts. Barely counts. But, thank you again, Matt, for being the moderator for my episode. Tell the people where they can find you.
You guys can find me at Matt Rivers, ZMATTRIDDER, on Twitter only. Also, Twitter and Instagram, there's Smackin It Raw Pod. Vince runs the Twitter, or the Instagram. I run the Twitter. Facebook.com/group/Smackin It Raw. You guys can check us out there as well. It's a really laid back, chill Facebook group where we talk about wrestling, and Mike does a great job running that for us. Also, Creation World is the banner under which the Smackin It Raw podcast exists. And you can find that at creationworld.com. Facebook.com/Creation World, and on Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World, THECREATIA World. And there you will get Smackin It Raw Pod, Super Flash Hero of Tomorrow, Dungeons After Dark, and when we ever do a second episode, and all that nerd-ish that happens under the Creation World banner. And Pornhub. We're on Pornhub. Go check us out on Pornhub. #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
#1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Which, when I asked the fuck, marry, kill question, the fact that you didn't, like, you were close, but the fact that you didn't know that came from me when I specifically told you about the fuck, marry, kill thing and how that was something I planned on doing, a little disappointed. Not gonna lie.
I'm pretty sure when you asked me that, I was at least like 6 shots deep, so there's no way I was gonna remember. There's no fucking way I was gonna guess that was you. I can't wait for you to tell me all of the ones, or I'm sorry, yeah, literally all of the ones I got wrong. Fuck, whatever. Yeah. I pull myself together. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at KatieRaslin13. I have the link tree in my bio to take you to all things ShElite Showcase, twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase, typically Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube, please follow us, because Jesus Christ, I want a fucking custom URL. That's all I
deserve
want.
it.
I earned it. Please subscribe. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. There's an Instagram I kind of keep up to date with. Kind of. I don't know. I think that's everything. Yeah. Instagram, audio, video, Twitch. Yeah. Thank you again, Matt, for doing this with me and for me. I feel like if it was anybody else, I definitely would not have gotten this drunk. So I appreciate it. I finished an entire bottle. That means I can get rid of this fucking thing that's been staring at me for months. Yeah, I don't know who the next one will be, but it'll be 2 weeks after my episode comes out. So thank you guys again for watching. This is hard to do not when you're drunk. Like, drunk. Fuck.
Say
Okay.
bye-bye, Katie.
Yeah, bye-bye.